people. Thomas D'Alessandro, the third, age 90. He was the former mayor of Baltimore who led Baltimore during the civil unrest and the 1968 riots after the assassination of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. He presided over enactment of the Baltimore Civil Rights Bill guaranteeing access to public accommodations, and he was the older brother of House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Actor Bill Macy, age 97, known as B. Arthur's husband in Maude, and known for other appearances. John Jack Clark, age 88, actor on Days of Our Lives. Mark Hurd, age 62, the CEO of Oracle and former CEO of Hewlett Packard. Also, we had Nancy Lachey Adams, age 5, the child who went missing in August when police discovered her mother's body. Her remains were found in the South Carolina landfill, just awful. Camille Cupcake McKinney, age 3, a child who went missing from a birthday party. Police believe they found her remains in Birmingham, Alabama landfill. Willie Brown, age 78, the NFL Hall of Fame defensive back, played 16 seasons with the AFL and NFL, Denver Broncos 4 years, and Oakland Raiders 12 years, and a 3-time Super Bowl champion. The 39 victims found in Essex, southeast England, they were found in a shipping container of a semi-truck. And the authorities believe the shipment left Bulgaria. Kate Curita, age 20, West Point cadet, missing for 4 days. And then some of you may have had some losses in your family of which I am unaware, and if so, we remember you in our thoughts and hold you close to our hearts. May we have the moment of silence, please? Thank you. So again, we announce these every week in the month. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We want to shatter the silence of surrounding domestic violence. We want to shatter domestic violence and the silence that surrounds it. We will have a Shatter the Silence walk on Saturday to raise money to eradicate domestic violence, and the proceeds will go to the sexual assault unit at what was formerly known as Prince George's Hospital Center. It is now University of Maryland Capital Region Hospital, which is located in Prince George's County. It is Down Syndrome Awareness Month. It is German American Heritage Month, Italian American Heritage Month, and Polish American Heritage Month. We at the Commission celebrate and really embrace diversity, and we honor everyone of all heritages, of all ages, of all backgrounds, of all faiths, of all sexual orientations. We walk the walk of diversity, and we celebrate. It is National AIDS Awareness Month. It is National Disability Employment Awareness Month. And again, as part of our diversity that we embrace in Prince George's County, we celebrate persons of all ability levels, and we make sure that our hiring reflects our policy. It is National Substance Abuse Prevention Month. We have to do something about substance abuse, particularly the rise in prescription drug use and opioids. It is a Bullying Prevention Month. It is a travesty the way people are bullied, particularly people in the LGBTQ community, but people of all ages and of all orientations, but particularly our children. We cannot allow our children to be bullied, so if we see something, we must say something. And finally, it is National Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. There are those who have lost children during infancy or during pregnancy, and those are huge losses as well. And finally, we celebrate the fact that it's Country Music Month. We are closing out this week, this may be relevant to some of us, is closing out National Save for Retirement Week, and Bar President, Commissioner Giraldo, it is National Pro Bono Week. Okay. October 24th, Orville Wright remained in the air for 9 minutes 45 seconds, setting a world record that lasted 10 years. Of course, Orville Wright also flew out of the Commission's own College Park Airport, which is the oldest continuously operating airport in the world. 1929, October 24th, 1929 was Black Thursday, the beginning of the stock market crash. 1933, Langston Hughes' play Mulatto, A Tragedy of the Deep South, premiered in New York City. 1962, during the Cuban Missile Crisis of President Kennedy's administration, Soviet ships approached but stopped short of the blockade in Cuba that was in effect. So stopped short of Cuba. So the blockade itself was successful, and there are many of us of a certain age group who may have to who may remember ducking under our seats, as though that was going to protect us from a nuclear weapon, but it wouldn't. But you know, we all had to. Yeah, it was a great practice and great. I guess it was a moral thing, moral support thing. 1962, right smack in the middle of the Cuban crisis, iconic James Brown invented the live album when he recorded his landmark Live at the Apollo album, which featured Cold Sweat, I Feel Good, Please, 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 and many more. 1995, New York City declared October 24th as Tony Bennett Day. That was 1995. New York City declared October 24th as Tony Bennett Day. So much for leaving his heart in San Francisco. 1996, Motown founder Berry Gordy was honored with the star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame. 2008, Bloody Friday, October 24th, the stock market crash, which saw many of the world's stock exchanges experiencing the worst declines in history. It affected all of us, and our housing market in Prince George's County was only recently recovering in the past couple of years. In sports, in the World Series, the Nats lead 2-0 over the Houston Astros. The next two games, possibly three, but maybe we don't need three. Next two games will be played right here in our home court in D.C. So let's go Nats. And the NBA season started last night. Let's lift up our Wizards, okay? I do want to say happy birthday to our former county executive, Rashawn Baker. So if you happen to see him, say happy birthday to former county executive Rashawn Baker. And finally, I'd like to give a shout out to an attorney who appears before us regularly. That is Arthur Horn, who will be receiving the Civic Leadership Award tonight by the Greater Washington Community Foundation. So we wanted to say congratulations to Arthur. Should you see him, Mr. Tedesco, that might mean you. Should you see him, extend congratulations. And without further ado, I'm going to proceed with today's agenda, which is, I'm going to start with item 4A and 4B. Is there anyone here to oppose the staff's recommendation on items 4A or 4B, or any board member who wishes to discuss?
Move adoption of staff findings and approval of the items on the consent agenda 4A and 4B in accordance with the recommendation of staff.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 6, we have a request for continuance for conceptual site plan 18003 Calm Retreat. Mr. Zanger. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Mr. Bossy.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Adam Bossy from the Urban Design Section. It's a pleasure to be in front of you for the first time.
Well, hold up. Excuse me. We have some comments before you go, so yes?
Madam Chair, my apologies. I'm James Hunt with the Development Review Division. This is Adam Bossy's first case before the board, although it is a request for a continuance, but we've had, I think Adam's been with us since July, I believe?
Mid-June.
Mid-June, in the office. He's done a great job with the office so far. We're delighted to have him as a part of the team. He's a planner coordinator within our urban design section, and we're really happy to have him part of the team.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hunt. Now you may proceed, Mr. Bossy, because you can't come before us without a proper intro.
And thank you for the introduction, James, and thank you, members of the board. This case is Calm Retreat, CSP 18003. In a memorandum dated October 8th, the applicant's representative, Mr. Tedesco, requested a continuance of the planning board hearing date from today, October 24th, to November 14th. And staff recommends approval of this continuance.
Thank you. Are there any questions of Mr. Bossy? So, Mr. Bossy, in the event that we do not grant the continuance, are you prepared to go forward?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Mr. Tedesco.
Is there a motion to approve? Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the Planning Board. Matthew Tedesco on behalf of the owner applicant, Commerce Treat LLC. We did formally request a continuance. I want to thank Mr. Bossi and Ms. Kozak and Mr. Zhang for their review of this application. I do believe that the continuance as requested to November 14th, I believe was the date, will satisfactorily provide enough time for us to be able to appear before you on that date and have a very productive hearing for Mr. Bossi's first case. And I will say the continuance has nothing to do with this being his first case. It's been a pleasure to work with him, and I would echo Mr. Hunt's comments regarding his involvement in the application. So with that, I would respectfully request the approval of the continuance. Otherwise, yes, we're prepared to move forward as well if we have to.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions of Mr. Tedesco? Was there anyone else here to speak on this matter? Is there a motion to continue to November 14th?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. So item 7 is a request for a refund of a filing fee. I knew that was coming.
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. For the record, Jill Kozak with the Urban Design Section. This item is relative to DSP 17058. The applicant has withdrawn this application, as in further review, it was determined that the DSP is not required for the improvements that they were doing. So staff is recommending a full refund of both the filing and sign posting fee, as neither a staff report was produced nor were the signs posted for the property. I believe the applicant had said that they weren't able to attend today, so, but they were in agreement, of course, with the full refund.
Okay. Thank you. So I don't have anyone signed up, but I think the staff recommendation was for a full refund. Is there a motion? So move. Is it discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Before we go on to the next matter, which is item 5, the Philmat Shopping Center, I do want to take a moment because rumor has it that we have a departure from the planning department.
Uh-oh.
And I am glaring. And Mr. Hunt, would you like to take it from here? And would you like to take it from here? Mr. Kennedy, would you like to come to the podium?
Yes, Madam Chair, James Hunt again with the Development Review Division. I just wanted to, of course, give an opportunity to say thank you to Mr. Rastafari Kennedy II. He's been with the commission for about approximately 2 to 3 years at this point. He has recently come to us with a resignation letter. He's found another position somewhere else for a better opportunity. He's really excited about this promotion that he's getting for with this other job and then the location. But I do want to take the opportunity to say we really appreciate all the hard work you've done for the commission, for the citizens of Prince George's County within the subdivision and zoning section, working with the entire department, with all the county agencies. You've done a great job, and we are really sad to see you go, but happy at the same time because it's for better opportunities that more support your career goals. So we're really excited for you. We're always going to be here for you, and just really proud of you. Thank you.
Mr. Kennedy, let me say this. So we've had people who've stayed for many decades in the commission, and that the planning department is no exception to this. So as some of them have recently retired, we were able to hire some new folks with new ideas, fresh ideas, quite innovative. And you were one of our recent hires, not super recent, but recent nonetheless. And we were always impressed with the caliber of your work as you came before the board, and your participation in other planning department events as well. You really hit the ground running, and we were really pleased to have you. We are not pleased to lose you, but we always have to put our selfishness aside in order to embrace and commend people if they have an opportunity that is really a good fit for them. So we don't begrudge you for that. I don't know what it is, and you may want to share it if you are able to. If you're not, we understand that too. But we do wish you well. So, and so I'm going to turn it to you so you can fill us in, and then we may have some comments. Okay.
Once again, my name is Rastafari Kennedy II, and I just wanted to really thank you, specifically Mr. James Hunt, for being such a guiding light, as well as Mrs. Hewlett, Chairman Hewlett. I've enjoyed my time with the commission. It was very amazing. I've learned a lot. I really appreciated the support I got when I was studying for AICP, and now I'm a certified planner. So, that's something like, the support that I've got while I'm here, it's really like allowed me to step up and take it to the next level. Like, I really appreciate the planning director, as well as the deputy planning director, my supervisor, Sherry, just everybody. You've been very welcoming. And so, yeah, I really appreciate it. And I am going to be a community planner for the federal government. And so I'm very excited about that. And I just want to reiterate one more time that, I really appreciate the opportunity that you've given me. And I've learned so much during there. I've worked on different projects, such as the projects in the MGM. And it's been a great time.
So, Mr. Kennedy, we thank you for your very positive remarks, and we appreciate that. And we're glad that you learned from us, but and were able to get your AICP. But also, we learned from you. All of us learned from you, and I think you're going to soar wherever it is that you go. So the federal government will benefit, and that means all of us will benefit, and we need to benefit. I'm just going to stop there. But just remember, once a part of the commission family, always a part of the commission family, okay? So we wish you the best. Take good care, okay? Thank you.
Can you see once you're doing the community planning for the federal government, you think you can get them to relocate the FBI to Greenbelt? Just asking.
There we go. Piece of cake, right? Piece of cake. Thank you, Mr. Rastafari Kennedy. The second. Okay, thank you. Okay, item 5. Detailed site plan 17035, Philmat Shopping Center.
Yes, good morning
Kozak.
again, Madam Chair and
Good
members of the board. For the record, Jill Kozak from the Urban Design section. I'm filling in for Mr. Jeremy Hurlbut today, who was the reviewer on this case. Item 5, DSP 17035 for Philmat Shopping Center, which is an expedited transit-oriented development application for the construction of a 3,953 square foot commercial retail building. As a matter of housekeeping, there was a additional backup item, a staff
have it.
memo dated
Different
October 15th.
Additional findings, yeah.
Yes, with some additional findings.
And a
This had been shared with the applicant, and we believe they are in full agreement. They are here today to represent their position. The site is located in the central area of Prince George's County in Planning
Let me
District.
stop you for a second, because if there's anyone here on this case, we have no one signed up.
There was one that just signed up.
Just
I just
signed
had the applicant sign up. I just gave it to Jessica, so.
Okay, thank you. Because that's the only way I know to call on people to speak okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
just
All right.
handed it through. The site is located in the central portion of Prince George's County in Planning Area 69 and Council District 3. The site is in the southwest quadrant of the intersection of Maryland 450, Annapolis Road, and West Lanham Drive. This is just north of the New Carrollton Metro Station. The subject property is zoned Commercial Shopping Center, CSC, and is surrounded by both MXT zone properties and R18 zone properties. The property and all surrounding property is within the Annapolis Road neighborhood of the 2010 approved New Carrollton Transit District Development Plan and Transit District Overlay Zoning Map Amendment, known as the TDDP. This aerial photo shows the existing conditions of the property, which is undeveloped. Existing commercial uses are located to the north, across Maryland 450, and then also to the east and west. And then there are various recent developments of office and residential uses to the south. The site slopes away from Annapolis Road and contains no woodlands or environmental features. The site fronts on the arterial master plan roadway, Maryland 450, and then to the west is Hawkins Lane, which is a primary right-of-way. This bird's eye view looking south, so Annapolis Road, Maryland 450 is in the foreground, shows that the existing adjacent commercial uses and that the property is fully undeveloped at this time. The proposed one-story, multi-tenant commercial building sits in the northeast corner of the property, near the intersection of Maryland 450 and West Lanham Drive. Staff recommends approval of one amendment to the TDP standards to allow for the build-to line to be a maximum of 33.5 feet along Maryland 450, as discussed on page 8 of the staff report, as this is necessary due to grade challenges. A surface parking lot is located behind the building with a singular access point from West Lanham Drive. The parking lot, if revised as conditioned per staff's October 15th memo, provides the maximum allowed 10 parking spaces and 1 loading space. The applicant has provided landscaping along the street per the standards of the TDDP. There is also additional landscaping used to dress the base of the building and screen the building and parking. The applicant proposes a single-story building that will be 28 feet in height, which visually presents as 2 stories. There is an arcade provided along the West Lanham Drive elevation, which is seen at the top here as the eastern elevation, and then along part of the southern facade, which is at the bottom image, which will be adjacent to the proposed parking lot on the property. The building will be composed of a masonry base, brick veneer middle, and then precast concrete panels on the top, all in a light brown color. The western elevation, the top image seen here, will be facing the adjacent commercial use to the west and is the back of house of the building. The bottom image seen here is the northern elevation. This will be facing Maryland 450 and includes glass storefronts and windows. Building-mounted signage will be placed above the tenant entrances on both the West Lanham Drive elevation and the Maryland 450 elevation. There will be a maximum of 5 signs, depending on the final tenant number, that will each be 27.5 square feet approximately. The signs will be made of an aluminum base with raised aluminum lettering and will be non-illuminated. Staff has conditioned that more signage details be provided with the final plan demonstrating conformance to all TDDP standards. With that, the Urban Design Section recommends the Planning Board adopt the findings of staff and approve DSP 17035 for Philmat Shopping Center with the one alternative transit district standard, subject to the one condition found on page 18 of the staff report as modified by staff's October 15 memo. And this concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you. Are there questions for Ms. Kozak? No? Okay, so I have the applicant here, I guess, now, you're gonna have to help me out here. Ms. C. Dominic, just help me pronounce the last name. Okay. And you can come to the microphone, but I understand you didn't wish to speak, right? Okay, but I just want you to state your name for the record, okay? And if you can adjust the microphone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, Chiozi, okay. Okay, and you're in agreement with the staff recommendation, right? Okay, okay. Thank you. Please let the record reflect that Mr. Chiozi, right? Chiozi, okay, is in agreement, the applicant is in agreement with the staff recommendation. Does the board have any questions of him? Thank you. That concludes my sign-up list. Was there anyone else who wished to speak? Is there a motion? Oh, yes?
Chair, George Johnson, Associate General Counsel. I just wanted to clarify one thing. In the staff's October 15th memo, it calls for new language to be inserted in the resolution, but it's some of it is in the voice of staff rather than the board, so I just wanted to clarify if there's a motion that incorporates that language, that it be in the voice
When
of
it's
the board.
reflected in the resolution, I'm sure that'll be.
Yes.
addressed. Okay, thank you. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I move that we adopt the findings of staff and approve alternative transit district standard to allow the build-to line to be up to a maximum of 33.5 feet along Maryland 450 Annapolis Road, and approve DSP 17035 along with the associated condition as outlined in staff's report as well as the modified findings and conditions as outlined in Staff Exhibit Number 1 dated October 15.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Mr. Hunt, is there any additional business to come before planning board today?
Madam Chair, that's all for today.
Planning board is adjourned.